So we talk every other week. And yeah, it's cool. And then I got a client from Connecticut that I'm just starting with on Thursday.
So how much is it for individual?
Individual, it varies again. The programs are different. I can get you some numbers. Let me get your.
I'm coming out there.
Are you gonna be back in here, right?
Yeah, I'll be back in.
All right. Well, I'll get you in a second.
I'm gonna rotate it down.
Started with the best group, man. Be front rower. Front and center.
Teach me something.
Oh my goodness. Get it out, huh? Kind of looks like it. How you doing, bud? Good. Was this the middle range group? It's old group. Now when we say old,
Senior.
how old are we?
Middle school.
Middle school to what?
Middle school.
All middle school.
Middle school. Middle school.
So y'all got no high schoolers?
No. Me. You videoing yourself?
Working on my craft.
No, I can't ask any questions.
Yeah, I want you to ask a question.
Like,
Like that too, that dude.
certain, I'll probably ask you
Anything you want, okay? How many we got in here?
later. Should be about 11, coach.
All right, so that first group's tough. Seven-year-olds. So I think y'all gonna be better, right? They did good. Get it wrong.
Got 2 more coming, I think, coach.
2 more?
I want to be here for the old one.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. So group 2, we got Tanner. This is group 2.
This is group.
Group 3. Zach. Yeah. Zach.
Okay.
Sean.
So you got the list?
Yeah, I took
Okay.
it. That's like their names, faces, if I can remember. Timothy. All right.
Timothy.
I'm guessing you're ready, am I right?
Yes, sir.
I like that. Aaron. Where you at? No Aaron? Aaron?
Hey, Ron?
No Aaron either? Okay. River.
We lost one.
Garrett. Tariq.
Who'd you lose? Ron?
Tommy and Jet. Jet, Tommy.
Come on, Ron.
All right. Are most of you guys from Riverwood, Clayton area? All over the place? Cool. All right, so my name's Chase Crocker. I'm working with a company called Winning Mindset. We're branching off into different sports, and baseball is one that we know is going to be our next big thing. Started out as a wrestling company. To be honest with you, I coached wrestling locally and kind of fell in love with the program, and now kind of working with them. So I'm excited about it. It changed my life. Coach Luss knows me. A couple years ago, probably 5 years ago, 258 pounds. One of the reasons I lost about 100 pounds was because of mindset and just living the principles. We'll go over principles today, and hopefully you can get a little bit about it. So what we do, we work with individuals. I have a client from Connecticut. I've got a team that I work with from South Dakota. And then I have a guy from Jersey I work with. All 3 of those teams are wrestlers, or wrestling programs, or individual wrestlers. So that, like I said, I want to be the baseball mindset guy. That's kind of my goal. Everybody have goals in your life? All right, you gotta have goals, right? If you don't have goals, you don't know. You know, it's like a captain without a ship. I mean, you don't know where it's gonna land. It's gonna go somewhere, right? But you don't know where it's gonna go. So you gotta have some goals. That's one thing that we'll talk about more. Right here, question of the night. Baseball is a mental game. You've heard it before, right?
Sir.
Yeah, absolutely. So give me some numbers. If you were to say what percent it was mental, what would you say?
90%.
90. Ready? Okay. What you got?
I had 90%.
Everybody 90? Anybody got an original answer?
80.
80. Does anybody not think it's important? Everybody thinks it's important? Be honest with me. I don't care if you think it's important or not. I know it's important. So. Okay. So everybody agrees the number's pretty high, right? All right, so the big question is, how do you train your brain? If you know the number's that high, how are we training our brain? And we've got some ways that we use that will actually help you have the mental edge. We want to make you better in baseball, we want to make you better in school, and we want to make you better in life. Because we know all 3 of those things are kind of interchangeable, and they're all important. Right now, you're probably thinking baseball's the most important thing. Well, you know, you got to be a student first, right? Right? Give me some head nods, yeah. And then you got to be a good person. There can be some bad guys that are baseball players, I guess, but for the most part, you're going to be a good person. And then obviously you want to work on your baseball skills. So we go by these 4 principles. I alluded to them a little bit earlier. All right. The first one is this: thankful for the opportunity to play baseball. How many people are just thankful to play? Like, just have fun with it. Does anybody like not enjoy it? I would hope nobody raises their hand because you're here. Parents are spending some money, trying to get you better. You're trying to get better. So have some gratitude about that. We just got off of Thanksgiving, right? Did you enjoy being with your family and friends? Eating, busting a gut, right? There's something about gratitude. I like to call it the secret sauce. What's the opposite of depression? Anybody know?
Happiness.
Happiness, most people would say. It's actually the opposite of depression would be gratitude, thankfulness. All right, because those people have no hope that are depressed. People that are thankful have hope. And you have hope. You want to be a good baseball player, right? All right. So every day when I work with a client, a team or an individual, because that's what we do, we'll go over these mindset principles. I'm thankful for the opportunity to play baseball. I say it with my wrestling team every day, before practice and after practice. And what that's doing is kind of planting little seeds in the back of your brain, in your subconscious mind. And for too long, you start believing it. All right, you start acting like it. You start wearing it. You start feeling it. Number two, I'm aggressive and relentless. Baseball, you have to be aggressive, right? Where would I see you be aggressive at in baseball if I'd never seen you before?
Base running.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got to be smart on the bases, right? Yeah, you probably heard that before. Coach Les probably said, don't be stupid. You got to be smart on the bases. You want to be aggressive, but don't be stupid. I've said that before as a coach. How about where else? Where are you going to be aggressive at? I'm gearing up right now. Yeah, pull the trigger, swing the bat, hit the fastball, right? Jump on that first fastball. Anywhere else? Where can you be aggressive at? Throwing, all right? Pitching, absolutely. Going after balls in the gap, right? Diving. These are all aggressive and relentless type activities, I would say. Number three, I have no fear of losing or making mistakes. Anybody have fear? You make any fear? What's your fear, man? What?
Losing or making a mistake.
You have fear of losing. You're making mistakes. All right, you kind of set yourself up. But why though? Why? I guess
I just don't like making mistakes. I want to be like perfect at everything I do.
Okay. Well, it's gonna be tough to do, but it's kind of a good attitude to have. You don't want to fail. All right, but I want you thinking about that. You just go out there and have no fear. You just do it, and good things will happen. That's what you'll see. I mean, finally, I'll never give up. I mean, aggressive, relentless, no fear, and not giving up. Who would say those are bad things, right? So that's what I did when I started coaching wrestling. Because I'll be honest with you, I didn't know wrestling that well. I knew baseball pretty well. So that's why it's an easy tie-in for me. All of these things work in baseball. Okay. So where are we at? Red flags. We have these lessons we go over with our clients. There's a bunch. We talk about injury management. We talk about recovery from injury. We talk about self-knowledge. That's what we always start with, self-knowledge. That's about an 8-week unit. My client and I will meet every other week and on the phone and talk about the lessons from the previous week. If it was a team, we'd all do the worksheets together and work on as a unit and discuss and have a lot of interaction. Looking at the red flags, you may have experienced these before. And if you're one of these ones that is coming up more than once, like you say, oh man, that's me. Oh man, that's me. Oh man, that's me. Well, you might want to think about getting some mindset help because it will help you. First one, struggles with the yips. What's the yips? Coach?
Yips, we can't feel the ball in the field.
Can't do nothing, man. Chuck Knobloch, you probably don't know him, but he field that ball second base and throw it in the stands. There's been some Major League Baseball players that have come up with this thing called the yips. It's just a sudden, rapid move, just thrown in the field. Pitchers get the yips in the stand. Say again?
We had one when we were coaching together.
Who was that?
Haston.
Oh, yeah. And I would say he was a head case, would you not?
Yes.
So, does anybody describe himself as a head case? I was too. I was my own worst enemy. Most of you will say that. Currently in a slump. You the only worst enemy? No. Currently in a slump. Everybody been in a slump? What's the best part of a slump? Nothing? I got one thing.
It's over.
It's not good.
It's over.
It's over.
When it's over, I'm getting out of it. Best part of the slump's coming out of it, absolutely. But it's baseball. 33% of the time, if you're successful, you getting paid some big bucks, right? If you're getting $333 in the pros, you're making some money. Hall of Fame numbers, yeah. And that's 1 out of 3. What other profession can you get it right 1 out of 3 times and make millions of dollars? There's none. Difficulty bouncing back from an error. How many people made errors? Everybody. Here's where we get into real mindset right here. What are you telling yourself after you make that error? What do you, give me an example.
It's hard for me to like when I miss a ground ball or something. It's hard for me to get back because I keep on thinking about the mistake over and over and over again.
And then what's going to happen to you?
Messes my whole mind up and I don't do good in the game.
Yeah, what happens next though? Does the ball come back to you? Does it find you again? You're going to make the same error? If you're thinking like you are, probably so, right? But here's the thing about that. You control every thought that you have in your brain. So if you're thinking about the error, that's on you, man. I will tell my team, flush it. What does that mean? Yeah, just flush it. If you make an error, now if you keep on getting the ball hit to you and you make 4 or 5 in a row, I'll probably take you out of the game. But on the first one, you got to flush it. Second one, flush it. Third one, all right, let's get something in there, coach. If you're thinking what a man thinks, he becomes. So if you're thinking about that error, you're going to become an error-prone baseball player. So you got to get back into the present moment, and that's one of our lessons, present moment. So that's a great one. Next play, Duke. That's my team, so I gotta go there. Coach K, thousands of wins, right? Next play, we mess up, next play. He said it many times. So if somebody like him, who I would consider the greatest coach of all time, would say it, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't I? It makes sense. You can't focus on the past. You got to focus on what? The future?
The present.
The present, which sets you up for the future. Yeah, it's gonna help you in the future. 10 minutes at the plate. What is that?
10 minutes aggressive.
It's not being aggressive. And we're talking about we're aggressive and relentless, but we're watching fastballs bell high go by us. Is that aggressive? Is that being timid? Absolutely. Does it drive a coach crazy? Hit the fastball! Right, it's ball because of it. If you rub his head before you get to hit, though, it's good luck. No, I'm just kidding. Missing spots on the mound, pitchers are going to miss spots. They can't find that consistent delivery. To me, that's mental. When I pitched, I always would tell myself, land in the same spot. I want to get my arm angle at the same arm angle every time. I want everything to look the same. These pro guys, their fastball and their changeup, when it's coming out of their hand, it looks the exact same. What's slowing the ball down? The grip. That's all the grip. But it looks like a fastball, and now you're getting on that front foot, and then you're in trouble. And then finally, how many people would say this is them? Better in batting practice. You go in the game, you just stink it up. I don't say stink it up, but you're better in batting practice. Why is that, you think?
More confident, I guess.
Confident? The little seven-year-old said that it's easier in batting practice, they throw slower. That's probably true. The guys are trying to strike you out in a game, and in batting practice, coach is kind of trying to make you look good. They want you to hit the ball, get some confidence. All right, so if you're suffering from those, then maybe we'll talk later, okay? Something else to go through. One of our lessons is we'll close with tonight. Predator versus prey mentality, okay? Somebody tell me what is a prey animal? Or a prey, something that's prey. A loser? I kind of like that. Because, you're going to lose that battle if you're a prey. Somebody give me some animals. I've heard of some animals that are prey, right?
A moose.
A moose. I'm not sure about that one.
A mouse.
A mouse. I'd give you that one, yeah. What else?
Lion.
A lion is a prey. Is the lion going to eat, or is he going to get eat?
The jungle, bro.
It's the king of the jungle. That's what it said, yeah. All right. So what's some predator animals then? We're having some struggles.
A
with some
lion.
prey. A lion. Hey, yeah.
A shark.
A shark. Good.
A T-Rex.
A T-Rex, extinct, but yes. Hey, think about this. I'm gonna give you a little hint. This is what we found out. Eyes on the side, like to run and hide. So who would that be? Predator?
A snake.
No, that'd be a prey animal. Eyes on the front, like to hunt. What does that mean?
Predator.
Predator. Yeah, thank you. So, what do they all have in common? A predator, besides eyes being on the front.
They're aggressive.
Yeah, they're aggressive. That lion needs to get some dinner, right? Who's he gonna eat? Whoever he wants to, really. But I want you to think about this for a second. The best answer I might give a prize to. What's the most dangerous predator in the world?
The one that's determined.
What'd you say?
Yourself.
I'm gonna get your number or something. That's it, man. Everybody in here is a predator. Because if you looked in the mirror, what would you see? Is your eyes on the front or is your eyes on the side? Your eyes are on the front. So that means you should like to hunt, right? When we get put in a pressure situation, a game, a test, anything, there's a something that is that happens in your body. It's called fight or flight. Anybody ever heard of that? No.
Yes.
Well, it's probably the most basic instinct in human nature. Our brains are 2 million years old, and it's always happened. Cavemen happened. It still happens now. It happens more often now. When we're put in a situation where we got some pressure on us, we're either going to fight or flight. We're going to run or hide, or we're going to attack the situation. So we want to build you up with these predator thoughts, so you can attack every situation the same. That way, those 4 ways: being aggressive, not giving up, being just solid all the time, thankful. If you're sad and you're going into the game, you think you're having a successful game? Probably not. If you're depressed, probably not. So the predator of the year is who? Should be you. Everybody say, I'm a predator. Say it again, unbelievable.
I'm a predator.
Yeah, so you're a predator. But, let's be honest, we have prey thoughts, right? If our eyes are on the side, give me a prey thought during a baseball game. Our eyes are on the side. Give me an example. Coach yells at you. So that makes it a prey thought? And then you start having prey thoughts? All right, coach yells at you, what do you think?
I messed up.
I messed up. Yeah, you did. I messed up. Give me something different.
Throw a strike, don't throw the ball.
So you're thinking about throwing strikes? Now you got that prep coach saying, throw strikes. I'm trying to throw strikes. I can't believe you don't think I'm trying to throw strikes.
Fear of striking out.
Yeah. Fear of striking out. How about this one? I'm on deck. This dude's throwing cheese. He's throwing 90. Is that predator or prey?
Predator.
No, I'm thinking how hard he throws though.
Predator.
Prey.
If I'm giving him credit, then that's a prey thought. He's throwing 90, and I'm like, oh man, he's throwing 90. I'm setting myself up for failure. How can I replace that prey thought with a predator thought? Say it again?
He's throwing slow.
He's throwing slow. Well, that's a lie, so we don't tell any lies.
Get your timing.
Get on time. You want to focus on the things you can control. Can you control him throwing 90?
No.
All right. So what's 3 things that we control? This is something we talk about all the time.
Timing set.
Timing, mindset, rhythm. Here's what I tell all my teams. You can control your attitude. Is that true or false? It's true. Every day you can come to the ballpark with a good attitude. And that's gonna set you up for some successes. You can control your effort. True or false?
True.
Yeah. You're giving half-tail effort, and you're probably gonna get half-tail results. And then finally, you can control your energy level. Is that true?
Yes.
Some people are like, man, I'm always late. I'm always just feeling lethargic and slow. Well, start moving a little bit. If you change the way you move, you'll change the way you feel. So we want to focus on our attitude, our effort, and our aggressiveness instead of him throwing 90. You got me on that? Thumbs up if you do. Okay. How about that error we made? Pray thought.
Keep on thinking.
Please don't hit me the ball back. You're thinking about it still. I don't want another ball hitting me. Pray thought. But we can replace it with what?
Predator thought.
And what is it? Give it to me.
Give me the ball.
Hit me the ball. Watch this. Little things like that. It's mental training. 5 minutes a day is all we talk about, and it's going to set you up for so much more than you ever would have thought, ever could have imagined. You can be way better than you ever could imagine if you can just get your mind in check. And it's a struggle for everybody, for every human being. Some people got it. I like to tell my team this: 99% and the 1%. Why does 99% of the world's money come through 1% of the world's population? Because those guys that are billionaires and millionaires and whatever, They got a predator mindset. They don't worry about messing up. Abraham Lincoln, he screwed up so many times, people thought he'd never been a president, but he's one of the most popular presidents you ever heard of. And you should see how many times he failed. But what we want to do is take your failure and help push you forward with it and make you successful. Because if we live in the past and we're thinking about our failures, we're going to continue to make those mistakes. But if we learn from our mistakes, all right, we learn to pull the trigger, then we're going to start little by little getting better and better and better and better and better. Okay? Questions? What we got? Talk to me. No.
When you got into mindset, you mentioned you lost a lot of weight.
Right.
How long did it take you, not just to start it, but to really buy it?
4 years. And that I guess I was going there earlier and I didn't really get on it. Distractions, those squirrels' eyes on the side. What's something that would distract you from setting your goal? Or making your goal?
Like other things in life.
Yeah, other things like, okay, how many people do Instagram? How many people do video games? How many people, eat a lot of food? Like, all these things can be distractions. Everything in moderation is great, but, you can be distracted by Snapchat, Instagram, your friends, video games. Girlfriends, yeah, ladies. Fellas if you're, whatever, but.
I'm not judging.
Yeah. So yeah, there's all kinds of distractions, and in your society, and this is what I want you to get, because I know our time's fleeting here. Everything's right here in front of you, your phones and everything really. You're right here. You can't look into the future 4 or 5 years ahead of time. And if I was to say, I'm going to give up because I didn't lose 100 pounds in a week, that's unrealistic. All right? Think about the end game. So y'all successful people think with the end in mind. They start with the end in mind. So whatever your end game is, put it on paper. And that's what we do a lot. We're writing stuff down constantly. And then you start making these goals to hit it. And anytime you make a goal, what you'll see, and all the pro athletes that are successful do this, they make them before they ever thought they would. I want to be the #1 draft pick. Kyrie Irving wrote it down, put it in his closet, opened his closet up every day, read it. Guess what? #1 draft pick. All right, does that happen to everybody? No, but he was determined. He was relentless. He put in the work. He did the things. He had the end game in mind. He knew what he wanted. He had a predator thought, and then he was laser focused, like most predators are, and he got what he wanted. So, if I can leave you with anything today, think with the end in mind. Start setting your goals up to be successful, and then try to start living this way right here. Being thankful, attitude of gratitude. Being aggressive and relentless. Baseball, you got to be aggressive, man. You got to go after the balls in the hole. You got to dive. Coaches love it when you're diving. If it's a smart dive. If it's a hustle dive. If it's a stupid dive, like we got to keep the ball in front because there's a runner at second and we don't want them to score. It'd be stupid to dive, right? We got to get the ball back in there and hope to run. No fear. We're not thinking about losing. We're thinking about what we can control, which was the attitude, yeah. That ain't what you said, but I'll go with that. Effort, energy. Attitude, effort, energy. Second one. Attitude, effort, energy. Get that in your head, man. And then finally, never giving up. How much more time? Am I good?
You got 10 minutes?
10 more minutes?
All right.
Okay. Other questions? Did I answer what you wanted to go? Me and Coach, we go way back. When I first started coaching, he was at Clayton as the pitching coach. So I learned how to call pitches from him. And we were talking about this earlier. He used the same signs and I used the same signs when we met up when I went to a different school. And we were both stealing each other's signs. I had 3 guys sitting beside me doing signs.
I just sat there laughing.
Yeah, it was hilarious. But known him a long time, so if you learn from him, you got a good guy with you. But it's funny. Assistant coach, now he's a head coach. Clayton High School. Did you have a goal?
Yes, sir.
And what was that goal?
I want to be a head baseball coach.
Did it matter where?
I had goals of, I've had different small group of schools I wanted to coach at, and I'm at one of those.
It's a great school where he's at. Had a lot of success, a lot of history. start with the end in mind, guys. You know, how far do you want to take your baseball career? Do you want to just go collegiately? Do you want to go pro? I mean, do you just want to play high school baseball right now? That might be what you're thinking, and that could be a very long-term goal for you right now, because we're stuck right here.
What about bumps in the road? Can you talk about bumps in the road, even through your journeys, or maybe teams or individuals you've worked with who start off and maybe they have a great, say 3 months, and all of a sudden they just hit a downward slide, or whatever it may be. Maybe it's they've gone up against tougher competition. Maybe it's they've had injury, or maybe they just in a funk.
I think that happens with everybody. Sometimes I look at my teaching career, like there's the first couple months I'm on fire and I'm tearing it up, and then we get near Christmas time, just like you as students, ready to go home for the holidays, right? So there's an energy thing there that you have to work on. But I guess the major thing about the bumps in the road, I would say, is you got to keep pushing through them. You never know how close you are to your goal, or whatever that may be. If you stop, I mean, you may be right there at it. I heard a story one time. There was this guy. He heard about this diamond mine. Okay, and he was going to move to California to find his diamond mine. So he sold all his land real cheap. He moved to California and never heard from him again. Couldn't find a diamond mine. Well, the guy that moved in his house, he was a poor guy, got a good deal. He was looking around, and one day he saw something sticking out in the ground. He got tripped over it, and he started digging. Well, guess what was on that dude's property?
Diamond.
Thank you, Reddit. It must be the Duke education. A diamond mine. So if he would have just kept, being persistent, DPC, and looking for what he really wanted around him, he'd have found it. And I think that's life, man. There's so many situations where we got it and we don't know we got it. If we just push just a little bit more, you never know what's on the other side of that push. But if you stop, what's going to happen? You're quitting, man. You're not getting what you want. So bumps in the road are going to come. We got to know that, and then we got to battle through them. I think that would be the best thing I could say. What about anything else? Any mental situation you've been through in a baseball game that would be something that you want help with real quick? Quiet group.
Campbell, you play the perfect game every time.
No.
Is there anything that you can do? Give a situation in a game that you had to overcome something.
Like an O2 count on bed, and like focus on not striking out and not worrying about that, just hitting it, just focusing on not letting the ball go.
And
Runner on third,
Yeah.
1 out, 0-2 count. What can you not do? Strike out. You gotta put it in play.
And just for me, being the mindset coach, I want to say, we can't think about striking out yet. Because if we're thinking about striking out, I'm probably going to strike out. If I say to myself, and you're a liar if you don't say you talk to yourself in your head, I mean, because everybody does it. You hear that voice inside your head. If it's saying, I can't strike out right here, or I can't, I've got to hit the ball, you got to set yourself up mentally. Just control the controllables. Attitude, effort, aggressiveness. See the ball, hit the ball. Just little sayings like that will kind of trigger positive results. But if you start thinking negatively, man, you see that negative reaction. I mean, as coaches, we see it all the time. You can just tell when a player goes up and they're not in the moment. Like they don't want any part of it. They don't want the bat. Like, we need to get the bat out of your hands because it's not going to be good. So just have that confidence. You have to walk to the plate with a swagger to the field. You're sprinting on and off, I'm sure, and you got a swagger to you. You don't look nervous and geeky and weak. You're portraying, even though you may not be, you're portraying you're a heck of a baseball player.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. That's funny you said that. I heard somebody the other day. Fake it till you make it, or keep faking it until it just happens. Because if you fake it long enough, it's going to happen.
Even ones that make it still have downfalls.
Right?
I just sent you an article and sent it to Murray too about Chris Archer. Talking about he had a 5+ ERA and he's still grinding, he's still getting better.
Yeah. And that kid right there's got a great mindset. I mean, he works hard, always has, very polite, you know. But most people that are like Chris Archer are gonna be successful. He's gonna come back, you know, right?
Absolutely.
Close to,
Never done.
he been a Cy Young yet?
No, two-time All-Star.
Two-time All-Star, Clayton boy. Anything else?
How much time you set a day to start with when you get into mindset? I mean, your program, are you talking five, you said something about 5 minutes a day?
So we want to spend this in the first lesson of self-knowledge. You'll go through the lesson. At the end, you'll give 3 things that you did good that day, 1 thing you did bad, 1 thing you want to do better tomorrow, and you're writing this daily. And like I said, write it, because if you don't write it, there's power in the pen. Going into that though, 5 minutes a day. That's not a lot. I guarantee you spend more on the internet. Okay. So if you put that 5 minutes into yourself, 365 days, and you can do the math because I'm not a mathematician, it adds up, and then it becomes second nature. As the program though, let's say if I was working with Reddick here, and he was my client, and we're talking about mindset, it's a 45 to an hour session every time we work together. So if I'm working with Clayton baseball, which would be great, little plug here, it would be about an hour, 45 minutes an hour with Skype. Since I'm in Clayton, I would just go there. We wouldn't do a Skype, it wouldn't make sense. But I'm not flying to South Dakota every time to do a mindset lesson. It would be tough. And I don't have that much money.
Well, with your team, I know you do team training too.
Right.
How much of that's being a good teammate and being a good leader within the team?
Yeah, we
And
talk
taking
about-
those up that are down.
Yeah, we talk about it a lot. Just helping others. You know, there's going to be guys you don't like on your team. You know that. Y'all play with people you don't like. But if you all have a common goal and a common purpose, win a state championship, go to the playoffs, win the conference championship, make the middle school team, and then you make it, and then you get another common purpose. You start working together, and successful things happen. So that was a good one, Coach. All right. What I would like, if you do Instagram, you can follow me, and I throw out stuff. Follow the website, Winning Mindset, or go to Baseball Mindset on Instagram. You can type in Baseball Mindset. You can see all these topics we talk about. And then, anybody heard of Lance Berkman? He's kind of like our baseball guru guy right now. Him and Andy Pettit coach a team in Houston, Texas, and they've really been on the mindset kick. They talk about it a lot, and they're working with us. Probably our most popular baseball client. Now, we work with guys from the UFC. Again, I told you we started as a wrestling company. UFC guys. We got all kinds of champions in wrestling and mixed martial arts. And I'll leave you with this. I should have showed it earlier. Does anybody know who that is, first of all?
Michael.
Yeah. Greatest Olympian of all time, Michael Phelps. It says here, losers focus on winners. This guy was ahead of him by a long shot. And they're really close to the end here. Michael Phelps, like a predator he is in the water, a shark, he was focused on one thing, the end game, hitting the wall. Winners focus on winning, okay? So just that look, that's a predator or a prey.
Right.
Prey, because his eyes are on the side right now looking at somebody who's hunting, who's focused, who's really locked in. Now the funny story about this is this went down so close to the end. It was like 0.000000832, something like that. That's real close. He hit it so hard because he was focused on it. That extra jolt is the only thing that got him that win. That was, I don't know what gold medal it was, but one of his last ones. So eyes on the front like the hunt, eyes on the side, pretty much gonna die. That's the prey mentality. All right, I appreciate you guys' time. I'm gonna see you again next week on Monday, right?
Yes.
And tell your parents to give me a holler, because I ain't seen the parents yet. I gotta get some parentals on here. Thought they were gonna be in here.
They can. We'll
That's
make sure of that next week.
Next week, I thought we
Bring
could
in
do
more
that.
chairs. All right, guys, go.
Thank y'all so much for your time. I appreciate y'all.
Just a few